One of our new products is part of our Legend line of products. A Legend means that it has direct lineage to the original prop, meaning no 3D scanning, no remodeling in SolidWorks or any other 3D program. It's actually cast from the original prop, and we try to replicate the way it was made for the original prop. So what we have here is our new Stormtrooper armor set, which was actually cast from an original armor set from A New Hope, one of the original hero ones. What makes ours different was no one has ever taken a hero version and cast it for consumers. And the other thing that we have on there is we have the full body suit and the neck seal. Lucasfilm Archives doesn't even have one of those. So
how are you able to get one?
So it came with the suit. It belongs to a private collector, and he had the entire suit from the helmet all the way down to the boots. So we were able to replicate not only the armor, but take the patterns and match the fabric from the neck seal and the bodysuit as well. So what we did was we cast all the individual parts of the armor, and we actually cast the inside because the original prop was vacuum formed over a form. So by casting the inside, you're replicating the original mold, not necessarily the prop, because each one was a little bit different.
So were there any difficulties that you found when you were casting it?
Well, we were very, very careful because obviously we wouldn't want to damage the original prop in any way, shape, or form. So as we were molding it, we just had to do some special techniques so that we don't damage the original armor in itself. So we cast every single piece of the armor, including the belt. The belt actually has a fabric backing on it, just like the original prop. We copied the holster, which you see there. And then we even copied the boots. So this is as close to the original screen use prop as you're going to get.
So what are the 501st guys saying?
We haven't talked to any 501st guys yet, but you know, I'm sure they're all going to be coming by to take a look, to check it out.
So what was the idea? How did you guys decide to start working on this?
Well, as you may recall, Museum Replicas had the high-end costume license, so we just stayed away from it because we don't want to conflict with other people's rights. So they did not renew their costume license. And so after I heard that, I approached Lucasfilm and I said, I think this falls within the prop replica category because of the armor and things like that. So since no one was doing it, and everyone has always wanted a really good Stormtrooper costume, we asked if we could do it, and so we were allowed to make this prop. It's actually a prop. We're not making sizes, so it's not a costume. So what you see here is the exact size of the prop that we're replicating.
What's the edition size of this?
We don't know what the edition size is yet, but as you know, historically, our edition size has always been between 1,000 and 2,500. But once again, we'll probably do the pre-order, the edition size based on the pre-order.
What's the cost of this going to be?
We don't really know that. We think it's going to be somewhere around $2,000. It'll be completely assembled.
And when are you going to do pre-orders?
Pre-orders we're looking at sometime in the fall.
What else do you want to talk about that you have here?
Okay, continuing along in our Legend line, we have our new Boba Fett helmet here. As you know, Master Replicas did one about 5 years ago, but that was actually scanned. This one, we actually cast the original hero ESB Boba Fett helmet. And the reason why we're able to do that is that's the way they made the helmets for ROTJ. They took the hero helmet from Empire Strikes Back, cast it in silicone, and then replicated it from that mold. So we knew that if we were to do it, we would not damage the helmet because it wasn't damaged the first time. So this is also, like I said, part of our Legend, and it is cast from the original Empire Strikes Back helmet. The other Legend item we have is the Darth Maul lightsaber. That's actually cast from the original screen-used lightsaber that Ray Park used.
Does it come in 2 pieces?
No, just one piece. Yeah.
And when are these items going to come out?
The Darth Maul we're looking at putting up for pre-order within the next 30 days. This one, you can see we're quite far away. It's not even painted yet. So we're working on that. This was just completed yesterday.
Well, you had to get it for today.
Yeah. And then our other line is studio scale. And you can see we have a new Y-wing over there. That's in the very beginning stages of development. And also we're looking at possibly doing a Star Destroyer. So as you look in the cabinet, you can see the bridge section that we just started working on.
And what's the process of putting something like that together?
Well, my team is, has studied these ships for like 30 years. So like we did with the TIE Fighter and like we did at Master Replicas of the Millennium Falcon, this team has actually identified all the model kit parts that make up the model. So right now, they think they've identified about 95% of the model kit parts. So now we're starting to put it together. So you can see the Y-wing's a little further along than the Star Destroyer. The Star Destroyer is actually going to be 4 feet long. It's studio scale. That's just the bridge section. And so, you know, studio scale is one of our other popular. We did Luke's X-Wing, we did the TIE Fighter, and now we moved on to the Y-Wing and the Star Destroyer.
What's the time frame of putting something like that together from scratch to production? It's
about 3 years. Yeah. Because after we do all the development here, then we have to send it to our factory in Asia, and it's basically like starting over again, because they have to figure out a way to manufacture it. Model making is different from manufacturing, so it does take some time. And then we're just so picky about it, and our quality control is so strict that it takes time, because a lot of times they're trying to figure out a way to be efficient in production, but that takes away from the accuracy of the model.
Do you find that you guys are so picky that when you send things to Lucasfilms for final approval, that they're, you know, go along with what you've done because you've...
Well, you know, I've worked with Lucasfilm now for 12 years, going all the way back to the Master Replica days. And so we work very closely with them, but, you know, they know that my team knows the stuff better than me, better than them. And so basically what we try to do is they use reference material that they have in their archive, and they do check our work. But, you know, we got to make sure that we're looking at the same one, because a lot of times they make multiple models and they're not all identical. So they do check with the reference material that they have, whether in the archives, whether by photo reference or whatever. But, you know, we work together to make sure that we come up with the most accurate model that we can.
Is there any other products you have coming up that you want to talk about?
This is our Marvel line, and what we've done with Marvel is we were able to work with the actual prop makers. So all these pieces here were all made from the original molds that were made to use the props in the films. So the hammer and the shield was made by Studio Art. Ironhead did the Thor helmet and the Captain America helmet, and the Iron Man helmets are made by Legacy. But I think the pedigree of the prop is most important to Star Wars fans. Marvel and Battlestar and some of the other ones, not necessarily.